What's up YouTube, it's Big Fish here with another reaction video. Today we're on Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan, and she's going to be interviewing Jim Hines. He's a Connecticut representative, and we know UConn, they voted blue, but that's okay. Let's hear what they have to say. Also, they have two different segments. The first one is the TSA, and that's the only one I'm going to be going over at the moment.
We go now to the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Congressman Jim Hines, who joins us from Greenwich, Connecticut. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Margaret.
So you just heard the border czar, the White House representative here, make his argument. Politically speaking, though, I mean, this shutdown was intended by Democrats to try to constrain ICE and how it had been acting.
ICE is already funded to 2029, so I don't know why they did this.
But practically speaking, ICE is already funded. In fact, it's one of the few DHS entities where people are getting paid because they had so much funding from the president's last bill. And now their portfolio is expanding because they're in American airports across the country. So what did Democrats get out of this standoff?
Yeah, well, Margaret, the standoff is not done yet, right? The president is illegally paying, apparently, TSA agents.
Illegally paying American workers, TSA agents at that, 4-hour wait lines, and it's an illegal pay so they can get their money and make sure they have their homes while you're getting paid. I wish we would stop defunding. I know right now they're trying to pass it in Congress. They're trying to get where these bastards won't be getting paid anytime we're having a shutdown like they did the last time. Now we have two shutdowns. Why? What are you so greedy for?
You had the Senate, as you pointed out with Mr. Homan, pass a bipartisan bill unanimously in the United States Senate to say, look, let's fund everybody else and let's deal with this thorny issue about ICE. And then you had the Republican House say, hell no, we're not doing that. And by the way, mock their own Republican leaders in the Senate. So look, this thing is still very much live for one very simple reason. We can talk about House, Senate, changing law for one very simple reason, which is that the vast majority of Americans look at the way ICE behaved with the murder of 2 American citizens, with the constant knocking down of doors of American citizens without warrants, people dressed like they are, airlifting into
He says that the American people, but only 8 million showed up for the No Kings protest. Maybe there was more Democrats out there that are out there just chilling, They're like, I don't got time to go to these protests. So maybe the tides are turning. Maybe we're getting more moderates and maybe we're getting more Republicans. But you can be swayed at any moment to either side with just a flip of a switch. So always keep your mind open. But this is a crazy time right now. But once again, only 8 million people showed up for the No Kings protest this weekend. Pathetic.
To do the legitimate work of going after illegal aliens in this country, and they say that is not okay, and that's our position. Our position is very simply, we want ICE to act like the police force that they are, and that fight is not won yet. And look, I'm sorry it got tied up. I'm sorry that the Republicans on one side of the Capitol said this was a good idea, and on the other side of the Capitol they called it a joke. But we're ready to negotiate around something that is not a radical demand. We just want ICE to act like proper police officers.
So in the meantime, the president's redirecting existing funding to pay TSA agents. You said he was illegally paying them. You believe that he is violating the law?
Let's hear this. This shall be interesting.
The White House says they have?
Well, it's not that I believe it, it's that I know it, right? I mean, if there's one power that Congress has, it is the power of the purse. Now, this president has, of course, consistently and universally said that he, in fact, has that power. But any American that went through 4th grade civics, no, they should be paid. They should have never been held hostage. And we had a deal come out unanimously from the Senate that if it had passed, right now they would be getting paid, and we wouldn't be talking about the constitutional power of the purse. But Mike Johnson, leader of the House of Representatives, said hell no to what his Republicans in the Senate said yes to.
So there were 3 Democrats, though, who got on board with Speaker Johnson, the House version of this bill. Even without any new accountability measures in it. Congresswoman Gluesenkamp-Perez says she did so because she thinks it's wrong not to pay people for their work, and Democrats had set unattainable goals. she says since the White House was agreeing to things.
Something that had just caught my ear. He said a fourth grade civics class. I don't know where he think they're teaching in school, but most of our kids are not getting the fine education they should be. It's really getting ratchet out here. Now, I know you can send your kids to private schools. Not everybody's going to private schools, sir. There's public schools out here for a reason, and they are being killed off because these kids are not learning nothing. Teachers are quitting left and right. So, sir, fourth grade civics? No, we did not learn that in no damn fourth grade.
Things like body cameras. Doesn't she have a point here that there is, as she put it, ideological purity that's getting in the way of working people?
So this is not a question of ideological purity, and I agree with Marie on one point, which is that people shouldn't be held hostage, and we can come back to that. But this is not extreme demands by any stretch of the imagination. Again, we're asking that guys not dress like Navy SEALs when they go into Minneapolis. We're asking that...
No. They're trying to kill these people if they see their face. They're trying to dox their families. They have children. No. They have family members that are still alive, mothers, grandmothers, grandpas, dads, aunties, cousins, nieces, nephews. No, you cannot have that kind of information. No, I can't let you see my face because you're wild. You're a radical. All you want to do is kill, kill, kill. No, you can't see their face.
They wear badges the way every other police officer does, that they have warrants when they break down doors.
And some of those things have been agreed to.
This is not ideological purity. This is basic adherence to the law. Yeah, well, okay, so if it's all agreed to, let's pass the law which codifies it. Because you know what? We don't trust the president when he says, okay, no masks, any more than we trust him when he says, oh, well, now I'm negotiating with the Iranians, when he's not, right? So if this is so easy, fine, let's codify it into law. But they're not, they're not willing to do that. Now, where Marie is right, and this is important, we have gotten too used to using shutdowns as a mechanism of getting what we want legislatively. And what that implies is that
Democrats,
people like TSA agents or folks that work in the federal government for the Department of Agriculture or stuff don't get paid when one party throws a tantrum, right? Now, in this case, I happen to believe that the American people, are with the Democratic Party and saying you don't get to act like ICE acted in Minneapolis. But we do need to get away from legislating through shutdown. That is not consonant with the great country that we are.
Well,
he says that, but Democrats do it every time they throw it in fit. There's two things I want to hit on: the Iranian war. I heard our president say he didn't want any new wars, but when you have a country that's saying they hate America and death to America, I see it's fit to go and cut some heads off. They really can't do much. We've already destroyed most of their missile ballistics. They were shooting 300 out. Now they're only shooting about 30 out. We've pretty much decimated what we need to go in there if we have to go in there on foot. And then the second thing I wanted to hit on, this guy, he acts like he's sitting in the war room with them. How do you know what's happening? You don't. It's just a lot of gas coming out their mouths and out their behinds as well. But go down, hit the like, go down to the comment section, tell me how you felt about the video. Thank you for watching. Peace.